let me ask you this. Have you ever noticed that feeling? You know, when you think about trying something new, something big maybe, and there's this little voice, or maybe just a pull, to just stick with what you know, stay comfortable.
Oh, absolutely. Even if comfortable isn't actually that great.
Right.
Right.
It's like we've somehow learned to shy away from anything that feels like a risk, like we might stumble.
Yeah. And that's exactly what we're digging into today.
We found this really insightful article. It's called How School Trained You to Fear Failure and Stay Average.
And the subtitle just grabs you, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You weren't born scared. You were taught to be.
It really does.
So this piece basically untacks where that fear of messing up comes from and the surprising ways it actually holds us back.
So our mission, really, for this deep dive is to get a handle on why we feel this fear, where does it start, and then maybe more importantly, figure out how we can start to see failure differently.
Yeah, reframe it somehow.
Exactly. Not as like the end of the road, but actually a crucial step on the path.
A necessary part of getting where you want to go.
Think of this as maybe a shortcut to understanding why taking those leaps, even the scary ones, might be the most important thing you can actually do.
Right. So where do we start? Well, think about how we learn when we're really, really young.
Yeah.
It's completely different, isn't it?
Oh, totally different. Like the article uses the example of a toddler learning to walk.
Classic example.
They fall down, hundreds of times, maybe thousands.
Easily. And nobody's judging them for it.
No, they just get back up, try again. Usually people are cheering them on, you know?
And what about talking? All that babbling first.
Yeah, just making sounds, getting things wrong before a clear word comes out.
Or even drawing, just scribbling away. There's no pressure for it to be perfect. It's just exploration.
It seems like in those early stages, mistakes are just data, feedback.
Exactly. The article touches on that, this kind of innate drive to learn by trying things out, trial and error.
But then, something changes.
Yeah, the article suggests there's a shift, a point where mistakes start to feel, well, threatening. They carry a different weight.
Maybe social consequences or emotional ones?
Could be. The article points to experiences, maybe in school, maybe at home.
Like, okay, think about being in class. You give a wrong answer. Maybe someone laughs.
Oof, yeah, that feeling.
Or getting a test back, just covered in red marks. It feels less like feedback and more like a judgment, almost.
A verdict.
And even those things people say, trying to be helpful, like, oh, be careful, or try to get it right the first time.
Right. They subtly reinforce this idea that mistakes are bad, something to be actively avoided.
And the article argues that all this, repeated over time, can lead to this underlying belief.
This sort of quiet thought that mistakes mean something is wrong with me.
Yeah, like it's a reflection on you.
And the article's really clear. That's a lie. It's learned. It's not innate.
So let's talk about school systems then. How might they play into this?
Well, the article makes a pretty strong point that schools often end up rewarding memorization.
Over actual experimentation.
Exactly. Getting the right answer, often quickly, becomes the main goal.
Right. So the focus shifts, maybe unintentionally, from learning how to think, how to puzzle things out,
to simply avoiding being marked as wrong.
And that conditioning, that fear of being wrong, the article says it doesn't just, switch off when you graduate.
But it sticks around. It follows you into adulthood, influencing your choices.
Which is where it gets really practical and maybe a little uncomfortable to look at. How does this show up in our lives now?
The article gives some very relatable examples, like staying in a job you don't like, maybe even hate.
Mm-hmm. Because the thought of looking for something else, applying, maybe not getting it, it feels too risky.
Yeah, the potential failure feels overwhelming. Or thinking about starting that business you dream about.
But stopping yourself before you even begin, because what if it doesn't work out?
Exactly. Or even hesitating to switch careers, even if you feel totally stuck. That fear of the unknown, of potential failure.
And it's not just career stuff, is it?
No, the article points out it affects personal life too. Like staying in relationships that aren't really healthy.
Because being alone seems scarier.
Scarier than the current unhappiness, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or just generally, as the article puts it, settling for okay.
Just okay. An okay life. Not bad, but not
reaching your potential. Because taking any kind of meaningful risk feels too dangerous.
The article calls the fear subtle, but it's powerful.
Yeah, it's not always this loud, screaming anxiety. Sometimes it's just a quiet little nudge towards safety, towards the familiar.
Even if the familiar isn't really serving you anymore.
Right. It keeps you stuck. That's the core of it.
So what's the counter argument then? What does the article say about the value of failure?
Well, it lays out this hard truth, as it calls it.
Which is?
If you're not failing at something, you're probably not growing.
Ooh, that's direct. Kind of a wake-up call, isn't it?
It really is. It forces you to think.
Right.
And then it gives examples of how failure is learning.
Right, like the obvious one. Touching something hot as a kid.
You learn pretty fast. That pain is powerful feedback.
Or maybe saying something thoughtless and seeing you've hurt someone. You learn about the impact of your words.
Definitely. Or learning about your own boundaries because someone crossed them and you realized, okay, that's not okay with me.
So these moments may be uncomfortable, maybe even painful.
The article calls them the building blocks of wisdom.
Building blocks. I like that framing. They're not signs you're incompetent.
No, they're data points. Essential information for navigating life better.
It makes you wonder, like the article kind of hints. What if we weren't so conditioned to fear mistakes?
Right. Imagine if we just saw them as information, as chances to adjust course, without all the self-criticism or fear of judgment.
How different would our approach to challenges be?
Which leads beautifully into this really powerful question the article asks you, the listener.
Okay, what is it?
Who would you be if you weren't afraid to get it wrong?
Wow. Yeah. Sit with that for a second. Who would you be? What opens up?
And the article gives some ideas, some possibilities that might emerge.
Like what?
Maybe you'd finally launch that business idea. Or leave a relationship or situation that's just draining you.
Could be going back to school.
Yeah.
Applying for something totally new, like an apprenticeship.
Stepping onto a stage, maybe literally or metaphorically. Speaking your truth more often, more confidently.
All those things that feel just slightly out of reach because of that what if I fail voice.
Exactly. And the article offers this amazing shift in how to think about mistakes themselves.
Okay.
It says, making a mistake isn't a sign that you're not ready.
Right.
It's the very process of getting ready.
Okay, so the mistake is the preparation. It's part of becoming ready.
Yeah. It reframes the whole thing. Errors aren't final verdicts. They're just steps,
Yeah.
necessary steps.
So if making mistakes isn't the real failure, what is?
Yeah.
According to the article.
Real failure, the article argues, isn't falling down. It's deciding not to even get in the race. It's staying where you are because you're too afraid to try.
Oof. That hits hard.
Yeah. And it's about the future, too. Looking back on your life with a heart full of what-ifs.
Regret. Those chances you didn't take because fear won.
The article also says it's trading your potential for safety and your peace for predictability.
Choosing comfort, even if it's a stagnant kind of comfort, over the possibility of growth and, well, real fulfillment.
And it's all driven by that fear of messing up.
And it comes back around, doesn't it, to that core idea that this intense fear, it isn't our default setting.
Right. The article puts it beautifully. You weren't created to live like that.
We weren't.
No. You were created to stretch, fall, get back up, and keep going. That's the natural human process of learning and growing.
So growth, winning. It's not about being perfect.
Not at all. According to this piece, it's about persistence. It's the willingness to just keep going even when it's messy, even when you stumble.
Okay, so wrapping this all up, the article leaves us with a direct challenge.
It does, a very practical one.
It asks you, what are you avoiding right now because you're afraid to fail?
Really think about it. What's that one thing?
And then it says, write it down.
Get specific?
Then do it scared.
Just do it, even with the fear.
Because, and this is the final thought, the real kicker from the article.
Go on.
Because the truth is, the life you want is on the other side of the mistake you're too afraid to make.
Wow. Yeah, let that sink in. The life you want. It's waiting just past that fear of getting it wrong.
So maybe just think about that, reflect on it, and perhaps consider one small step, even a tiny one you can take today.
Even if it feels a little bit scary.